Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us for Access City Council. I'm your host, City of Las Vegas Communications Director David Riggleman. Coming up on this show, we give you a look inside the Animal Foundation, where many dogs and cats are waiting to be adopted into their forever homes. And we tell you how a local resource center is helping countless families transform their lives. Here to discuss these topics and a whole lot more is the councilwoman who represents Ward 2. You know who it is, Victoria Seaman. Welcome back and Happy New Year.
Same to you. Happy New Year. It's going to be a great year.
You know what? I'm believing that too. It's got to be better than 20 and 21
Absolutely,
for sure. And this is our first show of Access City Council show of 2022. So
I get the
welcome.
honor.
You get the honor. They're first in line. So did you have a good New Year?
I did. I had a great New Year.
Well, here we are off and running in 2022. And one of the things we want to show you is that the ward boundaries have changed. Council recently voted to make the change, and we'll talk about why. But we're going to show you what the old boundaries were, and then we're going to show you what the new boundaries were. Now, this is what the boundaries look like prior to the change. And there's Ward 2 then. But notice the change on the east side. You're going to see it as it changes a little bit. Councilwoman, explain, why does the council go through redistricting each time there's a census tract?
Well, first of all, it's about population, and they have to do the census and keep the wards at a certain population.
Yeah, about the same, right?
Yeah. And Ward 6 grew exponentially, so they really had to change it. And my ward didn't change a lot.
Yeah,
but
not too much.
Not too much, but we are growing also in Ward 2.
Yeah, especially the west of the 215.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we lost a little bit in the east, and you know, I'm really glad that we were all able to work together on the population and the wards, and we're all very happy with it.
Yeah, and we should mention too that if your ward did change, if your residence or business is now in a different ward, you would have received a card in the mail basically saying there was a change, and then you can go on the website and it'll tell you, just put your address in, it'll tell you what ward you're in and who your council member is, and to subscribe to their newsletter if you'd like to.
Absolutely,
so,
yeah.
But so it's a great little feature that we include.
We also picked up a few businesses in Ward 2.
Yes, you did.
And we're reaching out to them to see if they want to come on our Small Business Saturday, so it's good.
That's a perfect segue. That's a wonderful segment. If you're not familiar with it, Councilwoman highlights a small business in Ward 2 each week on her Facebook page and social media in general. Now, you're also starting another segment called Adopt a Pet. So tell everybody about that.
Well, there's so many animals that need a home, and they're sitting at the Animal Foundation, and we are desperately trying to get people to see them because there's so many adorable pets. And so I started a new segment called Adopt a Pet. So every week we feature a cat, a dog, a rabbit, any sort of pet that we have available for adoption. And I got to tell you, before you go shop, you got to look at these pets because they're adorable, and they're just, you know, like the dog in the video. I mean, they're just so sweet.
And it's a really, Councilman, what you're doing is a wonderful thing, because it's a community-wide problem where we've got such an overpopulation of animals here in Las Vegas, and in really communities across the country. And so this is an opportunity. If you're interested in an animal, Councilwoman's going to help you connect. And I've mentioned to you both of our pets. We have a dog and a cat. Both are rescues, and you know, they're part of the family now.
They are part of the family, and these dogs are adorable. I mean, one of mine is also a rescue, and he is my favorite. I mean, he's just adorable. So I really encourage people, if they're looking for a pet, to go on the website of the Animal Foundation, go down there, take a look at my segments and find
And Councilman, tell everybody how can they view your segments?
On any of my social media, which Facebook, Twitter, Instagram is Victoria D. Seaman, S-E-A-M-A-N, or LinkedIn. We put it on all of those social media sites, so you can't miss it.
It's good stuff, and we'll have those handles before the end of the show as well to tell you. But if it's halfway as successful as Small Business Saturday, it'll be a home run
we have
too.
a lot of pets that are going to go into nice homes. I'm really excited about it.
Good for you. Good for you. Well, recently, this past week, we celebrated Law Enforcement Appreciation Day, and big event out in Ward 4.
Event.
Councilman Anthony's County's ward at Police Memorial Park. You attended.
Yes,
and I know
did.
this is near and dear to you. Your husband's got a background. Your dad has a
background.
background.
My dad had a background
in law enforcement.
In law enforcement. That's all my father did. That's kind of all my husband did. Yeah. And you know, it was just really nice to go out and talk to the officers and the different organizations that the police have with National Guard, and just get to know your local law enforcement. They're there to serve and protect.
Yeah, they sure are, and it's needless to say, not the easiest job in the world.
It's a hard job.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, the job that Metro has done in reaching out to constituents, I haven't seen it anywhere across the nation. They are amazing.
Yeah, they've done a great job.
Lot of community events. You can even have coffee with a cop, you know, different things.
Very accessible, and I think they've been really working on that for decades now, that community policing where they have a partnership with the community.
Correct.
And kudos to them. Well, and kudos to you for remembering those officers that are in blue and sometimes other colors as well. But again, that was that's right around the first part of January. And then kind of along with that, you had posted this on Facebook. You said, congratulations on your new position, Area Commander Michelle Tavares. Now, Michelle was the lieutenant at the Summerlin Area Command, right?
And so we lost her in Summerlin, but we gained her as a captain in Spring Valley. We're so happy for her promotion. It's a big deal.
Yeah, good for her.
You know, of course, we wanted her to stay in Summerlin, but it was best for her that she got her promotion. And Spring Valley is right on the border and partly in our ward anyway.
You cover some of that. Or
And we got a wonderful new captain, David Sims, whom my staff and I have already had lunch with him, and his new lieutenant that took Michelle Tavares' place. And that, you know, just right to work. You know, we didn't miss a step because we work very closely together in the community. And this is what I love about our law enforcement is they are there to help in any way they can. We're on the issues, they're on the issues, and we share information. So it's been incredible.
We've had a great partnership with Metro here, absolutely.
Yes.
Metro obviously patrols the city, also unincorporated Clark County, and again, it's been a seamless relationship for many years. Yeah. And then, Councilwoman, not only did you recognize Michelle Tavares for her outstanding achievement, but you also, at City Council, recognized David Hudzik, who was Principal of the Year. This is a big honor.
Yes.
And you also recognized him at City Council for that accomplishment.
Yeah, and we need to recognize these principals, these teachers, these people who make a difference in the school, which makes a difference, of course, in our community. And so he is an outstanding principal, a lot of accomplishments with the school that he took over. And
which is in Ward 2, right?
Yes, it's in Ward 2, and so it was an honor to recognize him.
Well, good for him, and congratulations. That was, of course, at City Council. That took place back on December 1st, the first meeting in December.
Right.
There's David right there. A big deal, obviously. His family, his school, his students, very proud of what he was able to do. So, good for you, David, Principal of the Year.
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
And then, Councilwoman, you also, right before, or I guess it was right after Thanksgiving, you took a tour of Casa de Luz. It's a resource center. I know you were really excited about going out to see this facility. I'm not really that familiar with it. Can you fill us in on what it is?
Okay, so they really help the community. The community they're in is an underprivileged community and underserved, I should say. And these folks tutor the students. They have daily food giveaways where they give out food. And they just really go out into the community and see what the needs are and bring that back and try to fulfill those needs. I just think they're amazing. I didn't know about it until I toured it.
Councilwoman, I don't really know much about it either. I've heard of the organization, but I don't really know what they do. So
again, we have so many great, you know, private organizations that are out there in the community helping the neighborhoods. And this is a really interesting one. It's been there a while, and a lot of folks don't know about it. But again, the things that they're doing are amazing. But the tutoring, I was really impressed with,
especially with the remote learning that we've had to deal with
and
everything.
Parents aren't home. They're at
struggling
work.
with it.
So they actually take all those kids in, and if even some of those kids that don't need tutoring, they have activities for them. So again, another amazing organization that we want to recognize.
Casa de Luz, of course, literally translated, it means house of light or lighthouse.
And they are a light in that neighborhood.
Exactly,
yes.
That's the whole point. Yeah, very good. And Councilwoman, not to be outdone, you also posted this on Facebook. You said, I'm happy to support community events like Oodles of Noodles. Help us collect pasta, noodles, ramen, and rice for families in need during the holidays. And this was a really nice gesture. This is back on December 15th, but of course they were going to provide this food throughout the year.
Yeah, this is another group out there, you know, private organization, Bamboo Bridges, that does a lot of good in the community, and this was one of their things. And so we went out with a lot of other people and just got a lot of noodles and
Oodles of Noodles.
Oodles of, oodles of noodles.
Love the name.
Yes, absolutely. And they again go out to give it to those who need it during this time of the holiday, and it was it's so nice to see the community out there.
Well, good for you, because those are two organizations I don't think a lot of people have familiarity with.
Right.
They're out doing good things, but they're not exactly household names. So Casa de Luz and Oodles of Noodles and Bamboo Bridges. That's their event is called Oodles of Noodles. Yeah.
Yes.
Bamboo Bridges.
Yes.
Thanks for highlighting them.
Of
because,
course.
now
I will go and find some more that we need to highlight, because not enough people know all the good things that are happening. We hear about all the bad things, but we don't hear about all the great organizations out there that are really making a difference in people's lives. And these are two organizations that are making a difference in people's lives.
And these are our neighbors, folks. These are people that live in the community with us out doing these things. So good for you, Councilwoman. Thanks for highlighting those groups. And yeah, again, education for all of us who weren't that familiar with them.
Absolutely.
And now we are familiar with this event. This is a tradition out there. You posted this on Facebook. You said, had a great time at the Lakes Festival of Lights Holiday Boat Parade in Ward 2. Now, this is a tradition that goes back many, many, many years.
Yeah, almost climbed in that boat. Yes, this is my third year doing this, because it's my third. And I can't wait till we can get the bleachers back out there.
Yep.
Because people need to come and see this. These boats go all out.
Yeah, look at this.
And we give awards to there's a bunch of different categories.
Yeah, exactly. Best decorated, best lights, yeah. So
they go all out. Yeah.
They do. And there's those little boats that go on the lakes, the little waterways out at the lakes. Yeah. But it's pretty spectacular.
I love it. I'm so happy it's in my ward.
Now, you always serve as one of the judges, right, or the judge?
Yeah, well, we give out our award, and then there's other awards too. So we get to pick the boat that we think is the best, and then of course they have other awards.
Well, this tradition goes back years at the lakes, goes back many, many years, and it's competitive.
It's very competitive, and but we give a pretty nice little award from the councilwoman, you know, and I got to tell you, it's cold out there, but it's very exciting. It's very exciting.
Yeah, I think that's part of the tradition. Is it's always on a chilly evening.
The chilliest night of the year.
You're next to that water, and yeah, it makes for.
But it's so fun. I wouldn't miss it for anything. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Good for you. Good for you for being out there again, and glad they could do it this year. With COVID, everything's kind of changed a little bit, but they were still able to have the parade out there. As you mentioned, the bleachers where the spectators could sit because of COVID.
They're not there, but there are still people that show up.
Exactly, but we still get to see the boats go by. Yeah, so.
Yeah, because it's pretty exciting, especially for the people who live on the lake.
Yeah.
And then the houses are there, so they can watch the boats go by. So
good stuff.
Pretty nice.
Good stuff. Well, December 2022, hopefully the bleachers will be back and we'll have a big crowd out there again. So, and then Councilman Toy Drive. This was a nice thing that took place just before Christmas out at Veterans Memorial Community Center out in your ward.
Yes,
right there next to Palo Verde
This was
High.
a city event. They collected toys. There's Nicole there. They also had a classic car show at the same time. So it was pretty amazing. People came out to see the cars to drop off toys, and It's a nice event.
It is. It is. That's such a great venue up there. You've got the community center at Veterans
and
Memorial.
The
pool and the high school are all right there together.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a community. You have a couple of churches across the street.
Yes.
So it's kind of a place where people in that area gather.
Yes.
And so, yeah, good for...
Heavy residential area.
Yeah, it is. Very nice.
Yeah.
And Toy Drive at Christmas is always well appreciated by many. And then you had your Ward 2 holiday mingle. This is at a Romy restaurant. That's near Rampart and Lake Mead.
Correct.
And that is where the old Natea's used to be. She
Yes.
moved to a bigger location,
Yes.
so it's in the old spot
Yeah,
there.
and everyone was invited in Ward 2,
Yeah.
and a lot of people came. And if you missed it, you got to come next year. We have a lot of fun, a lot of food. Just a lot of people from Ward 2 mingling and getting to know each other, and it was well attended.
Romy is close to our house, and it is a very nice restaurant.
It is
very
very
good,
nice.
very good food.
Yeah.
So if you've not been, you have to go check it out.
Oh yeah.
But so your holiday mingle was a big success. This was back on December 10th, right before Christmas itself. But yeah, good turnout. A lot of folks.
Oh, we had a really good turnout.
That's super.
Yeah.
And then you were busy. You were busy through this whole time. On December 4th, you and your team went around delivering pink box donuts to first responders, fire.
We don't want to ever forget our first responders, and just to let them know we appreciate them, and so we make sure we brought them pink box, everybody's favorite.
Yes, those are good, and yeah, this is perfect time for the holidays because you're gonna get some extra calories one way or the other. You might as well enjoy it with a pink box donut. So yeah, some of our firefighters there. You know, they got to work on the holidays. I think one of the things you always talk about is the first responders. You know, it's Christmas, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah. Those are just work days for those folks.
That's right. Things don't stop for them.
Exactly.
Because it's a holiday.
New Year's, especially here in town, very busy for them. So very nice gesture on your part. And then you also, out and about, partnering with the different chambers of commerce. You posted on Facebook. Great event at the Vegas Chamber installation lunch. Now, new officers on the Vegas Chamber of Commerce.
That's right, a new board,
new
board
officers.
Members, right? And they just do so much in the community, and it's great to partake and participate with them and get to know the people on the board and their new officers, because they are a real force in Las Vegas.
Yeah, they are. Mary Beth Seawald has taken over.
Yes.
And
here I'm with two of the assembly members.
Yeah, two of your assembly members.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing business back full bore, so important, because during the pandemic, business, so many took such a hit, and so being able to resurrect, get those things moving again, so important. So,
yeah, and they do a lot of great training and different programs.
A lot of great networking too. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the great things about being affiliated with the Chambers of Commerce. Well, you also were involved with the Latin Chamber. You guys went out and you had an event there. There you are at that event as well.
Another great organization, the Latin Chamber, again, helping businesses, Hispanic businesses and other businesses, and just, again, another great force out there to help the economy get back to normal.
Councilwoman, you did not slow down during the holidays. I know it's busy, but like you were on fast forward through all this stuff too. And then you also had a breakfast buzz and Ward 2 Biz. You posted this on Facebook. You said, today we had a very busy morning with our breakfast buzz and Ward 2 Biz at the Egg Works. Councilman, fill people in if they're not familiar with what those are. Tell them.
Since I got elected, every month we have a breakfast buzz, Ward 2 Biz. We call it that because we talk about issues and concerns. We, a lot of times, even this past breakfast we had this weekend, we had a Metro officer there, which we usually try to have. We partner with them. We have some of our city marshals so that people can ask questions. They have concerns about crime or whatever's happening in the neighborhood. So we really do break bread together. We take care of the breakfast, and then we break bread and talk about issues. And it's free for people to come. We do it in a different restaurant
each time,
every month. It might be a different Saturday, but we post it everywhere. It's on our email list. And we ask that they RSVP because we get a big crowd.
Yeah, that was a big crowd there, yeah.
Yeah, we get about 30 or more people, and so we like them to RSVP so we know who's coming. And due to COVID, we don't really try to keep it around 30 each month. And different people come. We always have new people show up.
That's
just
great.
to
That's
get to
the
know me and my staff. And this is a tradition I started. We're going to continue with it as long as I'm elected because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and that's a lot of folks that come. And
I got to tell you, it's different every time. It's a lot of fun, different questions, and people get to know each other in the ward, which is really important. We talked to Metro about that, about a lot of the crime that's happening. Get to know your neighbors.
Yeah, you guys, it's more eyes
work
looking out
together.
for each other. Yeah,
and so this was one of those meetings where we really talked about that, and so people got to know each other.
That's great.
It's fun.
Well, the video that we showed you there, that was from the Breakfast Buzz and Ward 2 Biz in December. You had one already in January, but you'll have another in February,
We have one every month, so all you have to do is get on our social media or our mailing list, and you can come and join us.
Yeah, exactly right. We're going to tell you before the end of the program how to subscribe to her newsletter as well. And we want to mention, again, we talked about this earlier, Small Business Saturday. If you're a small business owner in Ward 2, you'd like to have your business highlighted, Councilwoman does a great job at telling the world about your business. And again, I've said this many times on this program, but I've learned so much from this show. And oftentimes these businesses are a stone's throw from where I live. And
you never knew about
didn't know they were there. Yeah. So.
Right, and we love doing that. That is so much fun. Now I frequent some of the restaurants that I didn't know about, like the Pint, our neighborhood bar, and we just did a segment with them, and it's just a lot of fun. And you get to know the owners or the managers, whoever's doing the segment with us. And we're going to continue that. So if you have a small business in Ward 2, you just need to reach out to my staff and we'll get you on our program.
Yep.
We have some new businesses now in Ward 2.
Sure do.
So my staff has already reached out to them.
That's
and
great.
We're going to get them on the segment
because
as
of
well.
redistricting, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting, your segments run the gamut. You've had restaurants, you mentioned that, but you've had dry cleaners on there, and you've had bridal shops, bike shops, and a little of everything. And again, especially for those of us that live in Ward 2, it's just nice to know that, oh, I didn't know that this or that or whatever was just in my neighborhood.
Right.
Yeah, so.
And we get a lot of new businesses. I think we talked about this before. Since COVID, we have a lot of new businesses. I just, you know, the courage they have, these business owners, to open right after COVID.
Especially now,
I have a lot of admiration for them. And as a small business owner myself, I want to support their businesses and make sure they stay open.
Hear, hear.
So, so it's just nice to know about all of them. And I'm just really pleased with people coming out and opening businesses in this time.
Well, kudos to them, and I know people love your segment too on Small Business Saturday, and we talked about now you're going to be doing the Adopt a Pet, so you're becoming just kind of a video force out there all by yourself. So,
well, I have help from my staff.
Sure, but you know what? You're talking about things that people are interested in, obviously.
Absolutely, so, absolutely, and things that I'm interested in. I think there are so many people out there that love animals as much as I do, and so we just want their help. Yep. So I'm really excited about that new segment.
Need that help right now too. So, well, Councilwoman, I want to tell everybody out there, hey, you know, we always want to hear from you. So if there's something you'd like to share with Councilwoman Victoria Seaman, you can find her on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, as she mentioned. You can also contact her by picking up the phone. We still have phones around here too, 702-229-2420, or you can send her an email. Her address is ward2@lasvegasnevada.gov, and she or one of her great staff will get back to you. And as you saw there on the screen, those are your handles for all the different social media platforms too. So, well, listen, great to have you on the show. Happy New Year. Here we go again, 2022. We'll have you back here in 6 weeks with another update from Ward 2, and we'll be well into the year by then.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, in the meantime, Happy
New Year.
Yeah, best to you. And here we go again. And all the best in Ward 2. That's our stomping ground.
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, everyone, don't miss our next show beginning on January 20th with Ward 5 City Councilman Cedric Creer. You can now catch all of our KCLV shows on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. Also, watch for our QR code during the closing credits of this show to download and subscribe to our newsletter. Don't forget, you can watch us live on the internet at kclv.tv. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you next time around, and Happy New Year.